The unpromoted UFC 284 Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski takes place this weekend in Perth, Australia. I'm here to go through from the early prelims all the way up to the main card, breaking down the fights as in much detail as I can for the video, and give my predictions, betting tips, or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, like I say in every single video, just please bet with caution. Be careful, because I'm saying, like, I'm just looking out for you guys. So this is just my honest opinion on the fight, and yeah. So we may as well just get straight into it. And yeah, let's get it rolling. So the first fight on the card, on the UFC website, some of them have odds, some of them don't. You can check the different website for the odds. Okay, so yeah, just saying. Right, first fight: Zabura Turkov versus Elves Brenner. I'm gonna go with Zaburia Turkov. Pretty standard reasons. I mean, Elvis isn't terrible, but Zabura's like, he's proven that he's above the scrap pack, if you get what I'm saying. He's just above the bottom of the barrel. Like, he's picked up quite a few losses. Like, he's got, I think he's like 20-5, something like that. 25-1. Now, he's a very good striker, and he likes to mix in things, and I just feel like he's just going to be patient on the outside, and I think he's going to win himself a nice 30-27 decision where he just pops it out. Elves for like a good Elves Brenner for a good 3 rounds, just being patient, landing the shots he needs to land, maybe even drop him in one of the rounds. I just think that Zaburia is just the better fighter. So I got Zaburia Turkov by 30-27 unanimous decision. I see this as a pretty straightforward fight. I don't see this as a fight that's really gonna push him. Like, I think he was supposed to fight Joel Alvarez, which would have been a very, very good fight. I think Joel Alvarez probably would have won that, maybe. I'm not sure, but I mean, Elves Brenner coming in on short notice, it's not a good look for him. I mean, it's not the best for him, so I'm gonna go with Zaburia Turkov. I do think that he's the better fighter, and I feel like he's the better striker. I feel like he'll pick himself up a nice 30-27 decision, in my opinion. Next fight on the card also doesn't have odds for some reason. Shane Young versus Blake Bilder. I'm going to go with Blake Bilder. Shane Young is pretty fucking shit. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years, I believe. I think it will be 2 years by the time he comes. He's 13-6. We've got an undefeated prospect here in Blake Bilder, 7-0-1. Looked very good on the Contender Series. Who did he fight? Let's have a look. Blake Bilder. Let's have a look. Tapology, El Animal. He fought Alex Morgan, who's 11-4 guy, not terrible. Picked up a nice win over, like, I mean, he doesn't have the best, like, opponents, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, the guy is only 7-0-1. So, what was his one draw? He drew to a 3-3 guy. The split draw, that's not good, but yeah. I mean, he beat a 10-5 guy, 6-3 guy, 11-4 guy. You know, he's got Shane Young, who's 13-6. I think this is a good fight for Blake Bilder, man. He looked very impressive on the Contender Series, and like I said, I know the caliber opponent wasn't the greatest, but Shane Young's going to come in inactive, not look great, and I feel like he's going to get decisioned by Blake Bilder. So I got Blake Bilder by 29-28. That's what I'm going to say. Next fight on the card, Loma Lookboom versus Elise Reed. Actually has odds on you. Loma Lookboom, according to the UFC website, of course. So, just get that in your fucking heads now. Don't tell me, oh, you're on this website. I'm looking on the UFC website, right? So, yeah. Loma Lookboom's a -280 favourite. Elise Reed's a +235 underdog. I am going to go with the favourite in Loma Lookboom. I do believe she's a better fighter than Elise Reed, especially when it comes to the feet. I feel like she's going to be able to stuff takedowns, and I truly believe she's going to be able to keep Elise Reed at range. And I just think Loma Lookboom is a much more impressive striker. I think she actually looks good and technical for a female fighter when she fights. Elise Reed's very hit and miss. She showed a lot of problems for girls in the past. Obviously, she showed the problems for Corey McKenna. But I'm going to go with Loma Lookboom. I feel like she's just going to school her on the feet, get another decision, 30-27 or 29-28. Maybe she loses the second round or something like that, but wins the first or the third. I just think Loma Lookboom's going to, not like school her on the feet, but just force Elite Reed to be tough to try and get her way back into the fight, but it ain't going to be enough. So, yeah, I'd say Loma Lookboom by decision, 29-28. That's how I see that fight going. But it's a tough call because it's like anything can happen. Is women's MMA. But that's how I see it going. So, yeah, I don't see anybody getting finished. If anybody has the potential to finish someone, they both do. But I think Loma Lookboom's going to get it done by decision. Right, next fight on the card. Jack Jenkins versus Don Shainas. No odds on this one. I am going to go with... I'm going to go with Jack Jenkins. Don Shainas is just trash. He's one of those fighters, right, where he's 12-4. So not the worst record in the world. And I know he came in and lost 30 seconds via guillotine choke on his debut against Sadiq Youssef. Sadiq Youssef is not the type of guy you want to fight on your debut, so I get that, right? But let's have a look at Don Shainas' record, shall we? Oh, let me get up. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for, man. Right. Right, so hold on, is this the only time you fought him? Yeah. Right, so I don't know if any of you know about the legend that is Jay Ellis, man, right? Now, Jay Ellis is a 39-year-old fighter, right? Jay Ellis is an absolute legend, right? And Jay Ellis is one of those guys where he has... How many fights does he have? He had... Jay Ellis, man. Right. Jay Ellis... Right, okay. So what would that be? 116, 119. He has 122 fights, Jay Ellis. And you think, oh, that's, very experienced. Well, he's 16 and 106. And Don Shainas has a win over him. And it just feels like everybody has a fucking win over him. And I gotta be honest, man. Like, if you're beating guys like Jay Ellis, it's not impressive to me. Jack Jenkins looked very good on the Contender Series. I'll have a look at his opponent's record now. But he looks like a dangerous guy. He looks very good at what he does. And he looks like a good prospect to have. Yeah, he beat Freddie Emiliano Linares, who was 8-1 at the time. He beat a 5-3 guy, 14-9. So he's fought some experienced opponents. Sang-Won Kim, he lost to a 2-2 guy. That's not great, but you know what I'm saying, like, he's 10-2. I just feel like he's gonna get it done on the feet. I see him getting a first round KO, in my opinion. I feel like he's a bit too fast for Don Shainas, and Don Shainas just makes the wrong, incorrect decisions. He's the type of guy, he got clinched up by Sadiq Youssef and started throwing body shots from an angle where you can't really generate power. And it's one of those things where it's like, he just doesn't make the correct decisions. He's not the high enough level fighter, in my opinion, to beat somebody like Jack Jenkins. So I'm going to go with Jack Jenkins by first round KO. I see him catching him on the chin and putting him out. Next fight on the card, on to the prelims now. No odds on this either. Jamie Mullarkey versus Francisco Prado. I'm going to go with Jamie Mullarkey by third round TKO. I think he's going to wear on Francisco. Maybe lose the first round, but win the second and third. But obviously win the whole fight by TKOing him. This is a good fight for Jamie Mullarkey, man. I feel like this is the type of fight where... Because Francisco Prado, I want to get it accurate for you guys. And I have a terrible fucking memory, so I need to make Prado, yes, right. Now, he's 11-0, obviously, but... Right. First round KO. Third round Von Flue choke. Second round KO. First round submission. First round KO. See, yes. First round. And you look at a lot of his finishes, a lot of his fights, he barely ever gets to the third round. Now, so he's used to touch. I've seen a couple of his regional fights. He's used to touching people on the chin and putting them down. Jamie Mullarkey's not the type of guy to do that, especially on your debut, man. He's not the type of guy that you can just catch on the chin and put him down. It takes so much to finish him. And I know he got a robbery decision over fucking Michael Johnson, but still, he still looked good in that fight. Still hurt Johnson on multiple occasions. Jamie Mullarkey is one of those guys where it takes a lot to finish him. Like, and in my opinion, Francisco Prado is no Jalen Turner. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's no Renato Moicano. I believe he fought Renato. I believe. Hold on, 2 seconds. I believe he did fight him at one point in time. Did he fight Renato Moicano? Probably thinking of someone else, but you know, it's one of those, like, obviously he has a loss to Alexander Volkanovski, Luke Cadbig, who was fighting 6. That's not great, but he lost to Brad Riddell, Jalen Turner. No, they don't. No, right, okay, it went. My bad. But yeah, like, Jimmy Mullarkey's one of those guys, man. It takes so much to finish him. It takes way too much, and Francisco Prado is no fucking Jalen Turner, man. So I got Jamie Mullarkey by 3rd round TKO. Next fight on the card, Shannon Ross versus Clayton Rodriguez. Right. I'm going to go with... No odds on this fight, by the way. I'm going to go with Clayton Rodriguez. Now, Shannon Ross. Interesting fight, though, man. Interesting fights. Interesting fighter, right? He's not terrible. 13-6. Now, he's had a lot of cancelled bouts throughout 2022. Now, like, the last time he fought was against Vinicius Salvador. Obviously, he lost on the Contender Series. Now, he's not terrible, but I just don't understand how he's been given a fight, an opportunity on you when he hasn't beaten the best opponents. His last win was in 2020 against Donovan Frelo. He won by unanimous decision on UAE. Yeah, I'm guessing as United Arab Emirates Warriors 14. He lost on the Contender Series pretty badly, and he's getting a chance. I just think Clayton Rodriguez is going to light him up and get a 2nd round KO. I truly believe that. Clayton Rodriguez, man, he's pretty good. And I gotta be honest, man, I do rate the kid. And I believe, even though he looks like he could be my little cousin, but yeah, I gotta be honest, I do like his chances, and I see him getting it done. 2nd round KO. Shannon Ross he shouldn't be in the UFC. That's all I'm gonna say. Next fight on the card, Josh Kalibau versus Melsik Bagstadarian. This is a pick'ems fight. I'm gonna go with Melsik. Josh Kalibau is pretty good. I like him, but I'm coming at this from a stylistic standpoint here, right? So you look at Joshua Kalibau, right? You look at most of his wins and most of his losses, right? I'll pull up his record in a minute. Yeah, he's 10-1. Melsik is 7-1, right? So you go to Joshua Kalibau, right? Why can't I pull it up? Oh, because I fucking spelled it wrong. That's why Kalibau, right? Joshua Kalibau. Where's his Tapology, right? 10-1. Right, so obviously he has a win over Sung Woo Choi, which is just not that great anymore. Let's be real. A draw to Charles Jourdain, which he should have won. So that's a good win to have. Jalen Turner he lost to, nothing wrong with that. And then he has wins over 0-2 guy, 2-2 guy, 6-2, 5-0, 6-4, 25-10, 8-8. His last one, obviously, like I said, was against Sung Woo Choi. But look at these wins, and like you look at the guy like Charles Jourdain, right? He throws a lot of unorthodox techniques, and he should have won the fight. Now, Shayla Nudenbeke, who was a 36-9 guy. Fuck, man, class. So class looking record. Obviously, I know Shayla's not that good in hindsight, but a guy who sometimes throws unorthodox techniques, and then you look at a guy like Sung Woo Choi, very, very, very unorthodox guy. Now, if you look at Melsick is very, very basic in the way that he strikes, and I feel like he can get a 29-28 over Josh Kalibao, simply because of the fact that, like, styles make matchups, and I truly think that the simplistic style and technique and just basics of Melsick is just going to overthrow Josh Kalibao's whole timing and whole range, because he's at his best when he fights people who are very, very good at range and very, very good at just throwing very unorthodox techniques. And Melsick is not one of those guys. He's one of those guys that will stay patient on the outside and pick you off with simple technique. So I'm going to go with Melsick by 29-28. It might be a bit of a risk, guys, so that's completely up to you. No, this is a pick-em fight, but it's completely up to you. Anyway, next fight on the card. Tyson Pedro versus Modestas Bukauskas. Tyson Pedro's a minus 250 favourite. Modestas is a plus 210 underdog. For obvious reasons, I am going with Tyson Pedro. Looked like he's elevated his game. And don't get me wrong, he's, beating Henry Hunsucker means fuck all. But to be honest with him, man, he's looked very good. And, like, he looks like he has elevated. And I know, like I said, he's fought absolute bums. But to be fair, he has looked like he's still upped his game, and I think he's just going to continue to look that way against Modestas. I just don't think Modestas really presents any problems for him. Like, Modestas obviously was the guy that got his knee stomped out by Khalil Roundtree. He recently got back into the UFC. Tyson Pedro's got a ripping legs up, man. You know what I mean? He throws a lot of leg kicks. I just think, like, from a stylistic standpoint, that's Modestas' legs gone. He's worried about that. And then the hands up top. And I feel like Tyson Pedro can get a third-round KO here. And he's very good at throwing that teep down the middle. He's very good at mixing it up. And like I said, he's been very inconsistent in his career. But now he's looked like he's elevated to a level where his mentality is also there along with the physical skills. So, because he did take like 2-3 years off. So I'm going to go with Tyson Pedro by third-round KO. I can see it happening. Alright, on to the main card, the next fight. Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menenfield. Jimmy Crute's a minus 230 favourite. Alonzo Menenfield is a plus 185 underdog, right? This is a tough one. And it is tempting to try and pick Alonzo Menenfield. I'm going to go Jimmy Crute. Now, here's my reasoning, right? Alonzo Menenfield, he's decent, okay? He's good. He's decent. But here's my problem, right? Jimmy Crute's one of the best grapplers in the division, and he proved that time and time again, especially against Paul Craig. Now, Alonzo Menenfield is one of those guys where if he touches you on the chin, you're going out, right? Now, let me get Jimmy Crute's thing. Got it there. Right, there we go. Yeah, obviously he Kimura'd Paul Craig. Arm triangle choked Ben Keller on Hex Fight Series, so he's done very well for himself on here. But the thing is like, Jimmy Crute is very good at what he does. And Jimmy Crute's one of those guys where if he can't take you down, but he gets you worried about it, he's the type of guy that will continue to throw feints in that takedown. Throw a feint where it's like as if he's going to take you down, and he's good up top. Now the issue, right, his last two losses have come from Anthony Smith and Jamal Hill. Now the reason he lost to Anthony Smith was because he allowed Smith to dictate the middle of the octagon and throw his strikes. Obviously he got his leg taken out, got the nerves out of his legs gone, so Jimmy Crute obviously lost that way. Now, against Jamal Hill, he got a bit too overconfident in the stand-up, got caught with a check hook, got put straight out. And it's not to say that he has a bad chin, but, you don't want to get caught by Alonzo Menenfield. Now, I don't think he's going to be able to take down Menenfield that easily. I think it's going to be one of those fights where Alonzo Menenfield's going to be shaking him off with his entire body weight. But Jimmy Crute's going to get him thinking about it and just landing decent shots and banking the first two rounds. And I feel like he's going to finish Alonzo Menenfield in the third round. I feel like Alonso Menifield's going to be dead tired. Jimmy Crute's finally going to be able to get the takedown, work his grappling, his jiu-jitsu, and just get like a nice TKO where he's landing brutal elbows and Alonso Menifield just can't really get out of the position. And that's why I see Jimmy Crute winning the fight. But this could go completely wrong and Alonso can KO him in the first round. It's more than possible, but oh, God. I'm going to go with Jimmy Crute. Third round TKO. Next fight on the card. Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. Justin Tafa's a -140 favourite. Parker Porter's +120 underdog. I'm going to go with Justin Tafa. I think Tafa's pretty good. It's one of those fights, though, where it's like, anything can really happen. It's heavyweight, but I do think Justin Tafa is going to use that Samoan power to land his shots. He's not much of a... they're the same height, only a 1-inch reach of disadvantage in leg and actual reach. I just think that he's just going to power his way through and land the shots that he needs to land. And I feel like that's what's going to be the difference between these two. Parker Porter's not a very assertive guy when it comes to fighting, and I just think Justin Tafa's going to expose that by landing massive shots on him. And I think he put him out in the first round. Parker Porter's taken a lot of damage. Obviously, Jailton Almeida has to take most of the credit for that, but I think Justin Tafa's got it done by first round KO. I think he'll just land shots through the guard, land just massive shots and just put him out, I believe. So yeah, Justin Tafa by first round KO. First round KO. Next fight on the card: Jack Della Maddalena versus Randy Brown. Jack Della Maddalena is a -305 favourite. Randy Brown's a +255 underdog. I am going to go with the big favourite in Jack Della Maddalena. I think he's too slick. I think he's too quick. And I think that he's too technical for Randy Brown. Now, what do I mean by all these words jumbled together, right? It's one of those situations where Randy Brown is very slow. And he's very methodical in the way that he likes to keep range. Now, that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. But against Jack Della Maddalena, man, it ain't going to cut it. It can cut it in a very close fight against Francisco Trinaldo. But against Jack Della Maddalena, man, it's going to get you KO'd. And Jack Della Maddalena is so slick with the boxing. I haven't seen this before, man. He's a weird prospect, man. Like, if he continues to hone in that takedown defense, man, he's very good. And it's one of those situations where I just think Randy Brown doesn't have the high enough IQ to be able to defend against those shots, but also I think he's way too quick for Randy Brown as well. Randy Brown's very fucking slow. If you look at his fights, he's fucking slow compared to the guys that he's fighting, and it works in his favour. But a high level striker like Jack Della Maddalena is going to run through him. Vicente Luque ran through Randy Brown because of the difference in level of striking. But I think Jack Della Maddalena is a better striker than Vicente Luque. So this is a very good matchup for him. If Jack Della Maddalena wins this, I believe he should get a ranked opponent next. Same with Randy Brown if he wins. But I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena by second round KO or TKO. I think he'll land brutal body shots, drop Randy Brown, and just finish him off with good shots, when the ref pulls him off. I just think Randy Brown's too slow, not high enough level striking, doesn't present a takedown threat. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Next fight on the card: Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. Yair Rodriguez is a -165 favourite. Josh Emmett's a +140 underdog. I'm going to make a detailed breakdown on this fight, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I am going to go with Yair Rodriguez by TKO. I think he's going to TKO Josh Emmett in the third round. Yair Rodriguez is clearly on the sauce because his cardio's just improved insanely in the last two fights. That fight against Max Holloway shows levels to this. I think it's Volkanovski, Holloway, Yair, then the rest of the division. Josh Emmett didn't win his last two fights. They were both robberies. It's one of those situations where and Yair Rodriguez doesn't deserve this either, even though I do count his win against Ortega kind of semi-legitimate, but doesn't deserve an interim title shot, but it is what it is. Obviously, whoever wins gets a title shot against Volkanovski. But, I'm going with Yair Rodriguez by... I'm going with Yair Rodriguez by... third round TKO. Next fight on the card, I'm going to make a breakdown on this too. But the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. No odds on here for some reason. I'm assuming Islam's the favourite. I'm assuming. I'll actually look on Tapology real quick. Islam versus Volk. Surely Tapology got here. You and what people picking on Tapology? 33% Volkanovski, 67% Makhachev. What's the odds looking like though? 380 favorite, 300 underdog. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I get it. I'm gonna go with Islam Makhachev by fourth round TKO. I think he's just gonna be a little bit too much for Volkanovski to handle. And I know Volkanovski's fought a lightweight before. I know he even fought a welterweight, and that's his one loss on his record when he got KO'd. I just truly believe that Islam is just a different kind of grappler. Those Dagestanis, man, as much as I shit on them, man, they're a different kind of gravy when it comes to fucking wrestling. They're different. They've been wrestling since they were babies, man. And it's one of those things where Volkanovski is short and he's stocky and he's compact. But think about it. Look back at the Drew Dober fight against Islam, man. And Volkanovski has 10 times better scrambles than Dober. I'll say this right now. But how long can he keep that up? And I know he has great cardio, but still, he's going up a weight class. Islam just has a different kind of strength, a different kind of takedowns, and different kind of trips and ways of holding people down. Dagestani handcuff, all of that. Very technical on the ground. Even if he doesn't finish Volkanovski, I can see him just being able to smother him for 5 rounds and get the decision. Because people keep saying this, oh well, Volkanovski's he's very short, compact, stocky. Yes, if somebody is that way, it is very hard to take him down. But when you're a Dagestani grappler of that type of level that Islam is at, trips are available. Inside trips, outside trips, tight clinches where you can get him up against the cage. There's loads of options for Islam here. And I think Islam isn't as much of a disadvantage on the feet as people think. But I don't think Alex is the type of guy to get intimidated in the striking and get worried about the takedown. So that is an element, but I'm gonna go with Islam with that. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Please like and subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody sharing around. So anyway, guys, this is Keep It Real MMA. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.